50 sentences using the word near.
The park is near our house.
I live near the beach.
There's a cafe near the office.
The library is near the school.
The supermarket is near the mall.
He parked his car near the entrance.
She found a cozy spot near the fireplace.
The airport is near the city center.
We went for a walk near the river. The hiking trail is near the campsite.
The restaurant is near the movie theater.
The playground is near the daycare.
The museum is near the historic district.
I placed your keys near the door.
There's a gas station near the highway.
The hotel is near the train station.
The farm is near the countryside.
The church is near the town square.
The hospital is near the clinic.
The mountain is near the forest.
The bus stop is near the school.
The bakery is near the coffee shop.
The gym is near the apartment complex.
The post office is near the bank.
The cafe is near the bookstore.
The pharmacy is near the doctor's office.
The zoo is near the botanical garden.
The soccer field is near the park. The convenience store is near the gas station.
The swimming pool is near the community center.
The beach is near the boardwalk.
The ice cream parlor is near the arcade.
The theater is near the art gallery.
The hiking trail is near the waterfall.
The hotel is near the ski resort.
The yoga studio is near the wellness center.
The fishing spot is near the lake.
The cafe is near the university. The playground is near the daycare center.
The museum is near the historic mansion.
The zoo is near the wildlife sanctuary.
The post office is near the shopping mall.
The library is near the community center.
The bakery is near the farmer's market.
The beach is near the pier.
The gym is near the shopping district.
The park is near the botanical garden.
The cafe is near the riverside.
The hiking trail is near the forest.
The ice cream parlor is near the park.
50 sentences using the phrase in front of.
The car is parked in front of the house.
There's a playground in front of the school.
She stood in front of the mirror, fixing her hair.
He placed his backpack in front of his desk.
We saw a beautiful rainbow in front of us.
She sat in front of the TV, watching her favorite show.
The store is right in front of the mall entrance.
I found a gift on the doorstep in front of my house.
The cat always waits in front of the door to be let in. He performed a magic trick in front of the audience.
The mountains stretched out in front of us.
She's the captain of the team, leading from in front.
The teacher stood in front of the chalkboard.
There's a long line at the ticket booth in front of the theater.
I like to take long walks in front of the beach.
The bus dropped us off in front of the museum.
She left her shoes in front of the fireplace to dry.
He knelt down in front of her and proposed.
We had a picnic in front of the lake.
The restaurant has outdoor seating in front of the street.
I found a penny in front of the store.
She placed the candy jar in front of the children.
He took a deep breath in front of the microphone.
We played a game of soccer in front of the school.
The traffic light turned red in front of us.
She did a cartwheel in front of her friends.
The parade passed right in front of us.
I put a sign in front of the house for the garage sale.
He held a protest sign in front of the city hall.
We set up a tent in front of the campfire.
The movie theater is right in front of the mall.
She placed the cupcakes in front of the party guests.
He showed a magic trick in front of the children.
We saw a shooting star in front of the night sky.
I found a seashell in front of the ocean.
She danced in front of the audience with grace.
The restaurant has a lovely garden in front of it. He took a bow in front of the cheering crowd.
We built a sandcastle in front of the beach.
The bike lane is in front of the road.
She placed a bouquet of flowers in front of the altar.
He painted a beautiful mural in front of the school.
We watched a street performer in front of the crowd. The fountain is right in front of the town square.
I found a lost kitten in front of my doorstep.
She played her guitar in front of the campfire.
He wrote a message in front of the greeting card.
We saw a rainbow in front of the waterfall.
The bakery has fresh bread in front of the store.
I put on a show in front of my family.
50 sentences using the phrase next to.
The cat sat next to the window, watching the birds outside.
I placed the book next to my bed so I can read it before sleep.
The restaurant is located right next to the park.
She parked her car next to mine in the parking lot.
There's a coffee shop next to the office building.
The playground is next to the school.
I found my keys next to the front door.
He lives in the house next to ours. The bicycle was leaning against the tree next to the path.
She sat next to me on the bus.
The grocery store is conveniently located next to the subway station.
I left my umbrella next to the coat rack.
The hotel room had a balcony with a stunning view of the ocean next to it.
They set up their tent next to the river. The playground has swings next to the jungle gym.
I placed the flowers next to the vase.
The restaurant has outdoor seating next to the sidewalk.
The dog slept next to its owner on the couch.
The museum is located next to the historic cathedral.
I put my shoes neatly next to the door.
The picnic area is next to the hiking trail.
She keeps her favorite toys next to her bed.
The bakery is right next to the flower shop.
I noticed a small cafe next to the bookstore.
The cat napped on the windowsill next to the sun.
The bus stop is next to the school entrance.
I found my phone charging next to the computer.
The horse grazed peacefully next to the fence.
The art gallery is next to the art supply store.
I put the tools back in their toolbox next to the shed.
The river flows gently next to the village.
I kept my promise and sat next to her during the meeting.
The soccer field is next to the basketball court.
I found my missing sock next to the laundry basket.
The bakery sells delicious pastries next to the train station. I left my backpack next to the bench.
The campfire was set up next to the tent.
She placed the drinks on the table next to the snacks.
The dog's leash was hanging on the hook next to the door.
I stood next to the stage during the concert.
The beach is right next to the hotel. I set up my camera on the tripod next to the waterfall.
The convenience store is next to the gas station.
I found a cozy nook next to the fireplace to read.
The farmer's market is next to the city park.
I placed the gift next to the birthday cake.
The hiking trail runs next to the riverbank.
I sat down next to the elderly woman and started a conversation.
The bicycle lane is next to the road.
I put my suitcase next to the luggage rack on the train.
50 sentences using the phrase far from.
The beach is far from our mountain cabin.
The city is far from our rural hometown.
The truth is far from what he's claiming.
Her house is far from the school.
The restaurant is far from our hotel.
The park is far from here. We'll need to drive.
Their opinion is far from the majority.
His behavior is far from acceptable.
The exam results were far from what I expected. The hospital is far from our neighborhood.
The store is far from being open.
Her dream is far from becoming a reality.
Their relationship is far from perfect.
The movie is far from being over.
The finish line is still far from here. His skills are far from exceptional.
The solution is far from simple.
The mountain peak is far from where we are now.
Her performance is far from impressive.
The truth is far from what he's trying to prove.
Our vacation destination is far from home.
The soccer field is far from the school.
His score on the test is far from passing.
Their success is far from guaranteed.
The treasure is far from being found.
The job offer is far from what she hoped for.
The finish line is still far from sight.
The answer is far from clear.
The journey is far from over.
The outcome is far from certain.
Their relationship is far from being harmonious.
The destination is far from here.
The solution is far from obvious.
The lake is far from the campsite.
The concert is far from sold out.
The experience is far from ordinary.
The goal is far from unreachable. The truth is far from what they believe.
The adventure is far from boring.
The treasure hunt is far from easy.
The finish line is far from where we started.
The destination is far from our current location.
The answer is far from straightforward. The journey is far from smooth.
The outcome is far from predictable.
The relationship is far from being peaceful.
The solution is far from ideal.
The concert is far from disappointing.
The experience is far from ordinary.
The goal is far from out of reach.
50 sentences using the word during.
I fell asleep during the movie.
The rain started during our picnic.
She read a book during her lunch break.
He received a phone call during the meeting.
We met some interesting people during our trip.
The power went out during the storm.
She made a new friend during the conference.
He practiced the piano during his free time. They discovered a hidden treasure during their hike.
I like to listen to music during my workout.
The teacher caught a student cheating during the test.
We learned a lot during our visit to the museum.
She got a promotion during her time at the company.
He found his passion for cooking during a cooking class. They got engaged during their vacation in Paris.
I lost my keys during the party.
The temperature dropped significantly during the night.
She improved her language skills during her stay abroad.
He injured his ankle during a soccer game.
They bonded as a team during the team-building exercise.
I found my inspiration during a long walk in the woods.
The traffic was heavy during rush hour.
She met her future spouse during college.
He discovered a love for painting during his retirement.
They had a heated argument during the family reunion.
I usually meditate during my morning routine.
The children laughed and played during the birthday party.
She received a standing ovation during her performance.
He made a crucial decision during a moment of clarity.
They had a romantic dinner during their anniversary.
I met some incredible people during my volunteer work.
The company experienced significant growth during the year.
She got a sunburn during her beach vacation.
He found inner peace during his yoga retreat.
They encountered unexpected challenges during their journey.
I like to reflect on my day during my evening walk.
The fireworks lit up the sky during the celebration.
She learned to cook traditional dishes during her trip. He discovered a hidden talent during a talent show.
They had a surprise guest during their wedding.
I like to listen to podcasts during my commute.
The plants thrived during the rainy season.
She met her lifelong friend during kindergarten.
He felt a sense of accomplishment during the marathon. They had a heart-to-heart conversation during their road trip.
I take notes during my lectures to stay engaged.
The city comes alive during the festival.
She overcame her fear of heights during a hot air balloon ride.
He found his voice as a writer during his sabbatical.
They built lasting memories during their adventure.
50 sentences using the word over.
The plane flew over the mountains.
They argued over dinner last night.
She triumphed over her fears.
The bridge extends over the river.
He apologized over the phone.
We talked about it over coffee.
They celebrated their victory over the rival team.
She leaned over the railing to see better. He read the book over the weekend.
The storm clouds gathered over the horizon.
We watched the sunset over the ocean.
They debated the issue over lunch.
She hung a painting over the fireplace.
He bent over to tie his shoelaces. The cat jumped over the fence.
We drove over the old bridge.
They laughed over a funny joke.
She triumphed over adversity.
He lost his keys over the weekend.
The rainbow arched over the sky.
We skated over the frozen pond.
They argued over who should pay the bill.
She gazed at the stars over the desert.
He walked over to introduce himself.
The sunsets are stunning over the mountains.
We cooked dinner together over the campfire.
They sang songs around the bonfire over the weekend.
She leaned over the balcony to see the parade.
He won the game over his opponent.
The moon shone brightly over the city.
We chatted over the fence.
They hiked over the rugged terrain.
She painted a mural over the entire wall. He ran a marathon over the weekend.
The shadow cast over the street.
We bonded over our shared interests. They watched a movie over the weekend.
She placed a blanket over the sleeping child.
He hovered over his computer, deep in thought.
The fog rolled in over the harbor.
We reminisced over old photographs.
They met over a blind date. She stumbled over a rock in the path.
He spoke over the loudspeaker.
The plane soared over the clouds.
We sang songs over the campfire.
They huddled together over the campfire.
She spread a picnic blanket over the grass.
He glanced over his shoulder.
The ocean waves crashed over the shore.
50 sentences using the word between.
The cat squeezed itself between the cushions of the couch.
The negotiations took place between the two countries.
She stood between her two best friends in the photograph.
The sunsets are stunning between the mountains.
There was a heated argument between the siblings.
He found a hidden treasure between the rocks.
The balance must be struck between work and leisure.
She discovered a note hidden between the pages of her book. The truth lies somewhere between the lines of his story.
The beautiful garden is nestled between the houses.
There was a close race between the two runners.
He divided the cake equally between the children.
The road winds between the hills.
She chose the middle ground between the two options. The cat napped peacefully between the sunbeams.
There's a special bond between twins.
He split his time between his family and his career.
She found solace between the pages of her journal.
The secret is hidden between the layers of the cake.
They shared a secret between themselves.
He walked the tightrope between the skyscrapers.
She found a delicate flower blooming between the rocks.
The choice is yours to make between the options.
The river flows gently between the meadows.
She struck a deal between the two parties.
The love story unfolded between the main characters.
He built a bridge between the two islands.
She discovered a special connection between the stars.
The contest was fierce between the competitors.
He found peace in the silence between the waves.
She found a balance between her studies and her hobbies.
The squirrel darted between the trees.
The tension was palpable between the two nations.
He shared a secret handshake between friends.
She walked through the narrow alley between the buildings. The river forms a natural border between the two countries.
The treasure was hidden between the floorboards.
He sought refuge between the tall grasses.
The compromise was reached between the parties.
She sought shelter between the cliffs during the storm.
The map shows the border between the regions. He found a quiet spot between the bustling streets.
The bond between a mother and child is unbreakable.
She walked a fine line between confidence and arrogance.
The rainbow appeared between the rain showers.
He divided his attention between work and family.
She discovered a path winding between the trees.
The love story developed between the characters.
He negotiated a deal between the two companies.
She found a path of harmony between conflicting interests.
50 sentences using the word behind.
The car is parked behind the house.
She hid behind the tree.
I found my keys behind the couch.
Don't look behind you.
The truth often lies behind the rumors.
He left his backpack behind.
There's a surprise waiting behind that door.
I always feel like someone's watching me from behind.
The sun rose behind the mountains.
The mystery is concealed behind that locked door.
I saw a shadow moving behind the curtain.
She left her past behind and started anew.
The reason for his absence is behind his illness.
He always sits behind me in class. The treasure is buried somewhere behind the old barn.
He left his footprints behind in the sand.
The solution to the problem is hidden behind these equations.
The thief slipped away into the night behind the alley.
She left a trail of breadcrumbs behind her.
I left my umbrella behind at the restaurant.
The answer to the riddle is right behind your eyes.
He's the driving force behind this project.
The story unfolds the secrets behind the legend.
They walked hand in hand, leaving footprints behind.
The investigation revealed the truth behind the crime.
The moon rose behind the skyscrapers.
She always stands behind her decisions.
The history of the city is hidden behind these old walls.
The rabbit darted into the bushes and disappeared behind.
He found solace in the mountains, leaving his troubles behind.
The reason behind his smile is a beautiful memory.
They left their worries behind for a day of adventure.
The path less traveled is often hiding beauty behind.
She left her mark behind on the world.
The masterpiece was created by an artist who remains behind the scenes.
The secret code is hidden behind this locked box.
The train chugged away, leaving a cloud of steam behind.
The truth is lurking just behind the facade.
He lost his way in the forest and left breadcrumbs behind.
The moonlight cast eerie shadows behind the trees.
The legacy he left behind is remembered by many. The trail leads deep into the forest, leaving civilization behind.
They left a trail of laughter behind them.
The map shows a hidden treasure behind the waterfall.
The old mansion holds stories of the past behind its walls.
He always stands behind his principles.
The explanation lies hidden behind the data.
They walked away, leaving their footprints behind in the sand.
The reason behind his success is hard work and dedication.
As she walked away, she left a trail of stardust behind her.
50 sentences using the word among.
She was chosen among the best candidates for the job.
The red rose stood out among the white ones.
He felt a sense of belonging among his friends.
Among the options, I prefer the chocolate ice cream.
The cat hid among the tall grass.
She found her lost necklace among her jewelry.
Among the stars, the moon shone the brightest.
He discovered a rare coin among his old possessions.
Among the books on the shelf, that one is my favorite.
The song played softly among the sounds of nature.
She felt a deep sense of peace among the mountains.
Among the spices, cumin gives the dish its unique flavor.
He excelled among his classmates in mathematics.
The secret was carefully hidden among the pages of the diary.
Among the fruits, I like apples the most. She found comfort among the familiar faces.
He discovered a hidden passage among the ancient ruins.
Among the chaos, there was a moment of silence.
The diamond sparkled among the other gems.
She found the missing puzzle piece among the scattered ones.
Among the guests, her smile was the warmest.
He always felt safe among his family.
Among the colors, Red is the most vibrant.
She found inspiration among the works of great artists.
Among the movies, that one is a classic.
He found a peaceful spot among the noisy crowd.
Among the planets, Earth is the only one with life.
She discovered a rare bird species among the trees.
He was the youngest among his siblings.
Among the seasons, I love spring the most.
She stood out among her peers with her talent.
Among the sweets, chocolate is my weakness.
He found a hidden treasure among the rocks.
Among the recipes, this one is the easiest to make.
She felt a sense of unity among the diverse group.
Among the clouds, the sun broke through.
He found clarity among the chaos of his thoughts.
Among the flowers, the rose is the queen.
She discovered a rare seashell among the pebbles.
Among the animals, dogs are known for their loyalty.
He was the tallest among his friends.
Among the choices, the blue dress is the prettiest. She found a quiet moment of reflection among the hustle and bustle.
Among the constellations, Orion is easy to spot.
He discovered a hidden talent among his interests.
Among the words, some carry deep meaning.
She found a peaceful retreat among the mountains.
Among the instruments, the violin is my favorite.
He found a sense of purpose among his experiences.
Among the challenges, there are opportunities for growth.
50 sentences using the word "o" below.
The treasure chest was hidden below the old oak tree.
The temperature dropped below freezing last night.
The fish swim below the surface of the water.
Please sign your name below the dotted line.
The submarine descended deep below the ocean's surface.
The cave explorer ventured below ground to discover new formations.
The city lights shimmered far below us on the plain.
The roots of the tree extend below the soil.
The boat floated peacefully below the bridge.
The notes on the scale ascend from below to above.
The canyon stretched out below, revealing its vastness.
The answers to the questions are listed below each one.
The waterfall cascaded down from the cliffs above to below.
The temperature soared above 100 degrees, making it unbearably hot below.
The cave entrance was hidden below a blanket of vines.
The basement is located below the main floor.
The submarine explored the depths below the surface.
The city skyline sparkled with lights from below.
The trail led us below the towering trees.
The temperature stayed below average for the season.
The secrets of the past are buried below the ancient ruins. The river flows gently below the hillside.
The mouse scurried below the floorboards.
The instructions are written below the diagram.
The valley stretched out below, surrounded by mountains.
The train tracks run below the overpass.
The roots of the plants spread out below the surface.
The path winds its way below the cliffs.
The answer to the riddle lies below the surface.
The boat sails peacefully below the cloudless sky.
The subway travels below the streets of the city.
The sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows.
The cave explorer discovered a hidden chamber below.
The temperature dropped below zero during the winter storm.
The waterfall plunges from the cliffs above to the pool below.
The shipwreck rests on the ocean floor below.
The cityscape lit up below as night fell.
The road descends below the mountain pass.
The roots of the ancient tree stretch far below the ground.
The notes on the musical scale go from below to above.
The river flows gently below the village.
The submarine sank deeper below the surface.
The cave explorer ventured into the darkness below.
The temperature fell below the expected range.
The secrets of the ancient civilization lie buried below.
The train travels below the bustling city streets.
The boat sailed smoothly below the clear blue sky.
The subway tunnels run below the city's infrastructure. The path leads hikers below the towering cliffs.
The answers to the questions are found below each one.
50 sentences using the phrase apart from.
Apart from her, no one else knew the secret.
He was the only one apart from me who attended the meeting.
Apart from the rain, it's been a perfect day.
Apart from the main course, we also ordered appetizers.
Apart from studying, he enjoys playing the piano.
The garden was pristine, apart from a single weed.
Apart from the noisy traffic, the neighborhood is peaceful.
Apart from a few minor errors, the report was well written.
She has no hobbies apart from reading.
Apart from the blue sky, there's not a cloud in sight.
Apart from his daily workout, he also does yoga.
The room was empty apart from a lone chair.
Apart from the essentials, I packed some snacks for the trip.
She's a vegetarian, apart from occasionally eating fish.
Apart from the sore throat, she felt perfectly fine.
The painting is beautiful, apart from a small smudge.
Apart from the first chapter, the book was uninteresting.
He's a great student, apart from being a little shy.
Apart from the rain, the picnic was a success.
The forest was peaceful, apart from the chirping of birds.
Apart from his glasses, he rarely wears accessories.
The dress is perfect, apart from being a bit too long. Apart from math, he excels in all his subjects.
The recipe is delicious, apart from being a bit spicy.
Apart from his serious side, he has a great sense of humor.
She's friendly, apart from her occasional moodiness.
The town is beautiful, apart from the old, abandoned building.
Apart from his work, he enjoys a quiet home life.
The party was fun, apart from the noisy neighbors.
Apart from the modern decor, the restaurant has a vintage vibe.
He's a great cook, apart from being a messy one.
Apart from the high price, the quality is outstanding.
The car is reliable apart from the occasional hiccup.
Apart from their differences, they make a great team.
She's talented, apart from her occasional self-doubt.
The movie was entertaining, apart from a few slow moments.
Apart from his age, he's in excellent shape.
The garden is lovely, apart from the overgrown bushes.
Apart from the rough start, the day turned out well.
The dog is well behaved, apart from barking at strangers.
Apart from her busy schedule, she finds time for her hobbies.
The party was enjoyable, apart from the late start.
Apart from his fashion sense, he's quite practical.
The dessert was delightful, apart from being too sweet.
Apart from his shyness, he's a great conversationalist.
The beach is pristine, apart from the litter left by tourists.
Apart from her reserved nature, she's a great listener.
The meal was satisfying, apart from the portion size.
Apart from their distance, they remain close friends.
He's a good driver, apart from his impatience.
50 sentences using the word amidst.
Amidst the chaos of the city, she found a moment of peace in the park.
The musician played his guitar amidst the crowd.
She smiled amidst the challenges and kept moving forward.
Amidst the storm, the lighthouse provided a guiding light.
The flowers bloomed beautifully amidst the green foliage.
He discovered a hidden treasure amidst the old books.
Amidst the laughter and chatter, their eyes met.
The ship sailed bravely amidst the turbulent waves.
She found her voice amidst the silence of the forest.
Amidst the ruins, archaeologists uncovered ancient artifacts.
He felt a sense of belonging amidst the close-knit community.
The stars shone brightly amidst the dark night sky.
Amidst the uncertainty, he remained confident in his decision.
The delicate fragrance of roses filled the garden amidst the roses.
She discovered a sense of purpose amidst her travels. Amidst the noise of the city, he heard a faint melody.
The athlete pushed through the pain amidst the race.
Amidst the applause, the actor took a bow.
The company achieved success amidst tough competition.
She found solace amidst the pages of her favorite book.
Amidst the hustle and bustle, he found a quiet cafe to work.
The stars sparkled amidst the vastness of the universe.
Amidst the challenges, they built a strong partnership.
He uncovered a rare fossil amidst the rocks.
Amidst the confusion, the teacher provided clarity.
The city thrived amidst economic growth.
Amidst the heat, they sought shade under a tree.
She discovered inner strength amidst adversity.
Amidst the mountains, they felt truly free.
The fragrance of coffee wafted amidst the morning air.
Amidst the rivalry, they found mutual respect.
He revealed his true feelings amidst a heartfelt conversation.
Amidst the darkness, a single candle flickered.
The orchestra played amidst the grandeur of the concert hall.
She found her passion amidst her diverse interests.
Amidst the competition, they stood out as winners.
The old castle stood tall amidst the rolling hills.
Amidst the festivities, they exchanged wedding vows.
He uncovered a long-lost letter amidst the dusty attic.
Amidst the serenity of the lake, they went fishing.
She found her purpose amidst the call of the wild.
Amidst the applause, they accepted their diplomas.
The laughter echoed amidst the family gathering. Amidst the wilderness, they set up their campsite.
The musician played a beautiful melody amidst the setting sun.
Amidst the tears, they shared a heartfelt moment.
He found inspiration amidst the vibrant street art.
Amidst the cheers, the team celebrated their victory.
She found tranquility amidst the lapping waves of the ocean.
Amidst the seasons, the trees changed their colors.
50 sentences using the word along.
I walked along the beach at sunrise.
The river flows peacefully along its course.
She sang a song as she strolled along.
The kids skipped happily along the path.
The train traveled swiftly along the tracks.
I read a book while driving along the highway.
We chatted as we hiked along the trail.
The dog trotted merrily along the sidewalk.
The car sped along the winding road.
I rode my bike alongside the river.
The birds flew gracefully along the coastline.
We laughed and joked as we journeyed along.
The ants moved in a line along the pavement.
The wind rustled the leaves as we walked along.
The boat sailed serenely along the lake. I gazed at the stars while lying along the grass.
The parade moved merrily along the street.
The hikers moved slowly but steadily along the mountain path.
The river banks were lush with vegetation along its edge.
We jogged along the park's jogging track.
The cars whizzed by along the freeway.
We explored the caves along the coastline.
The rain pattered gently along the roof.
The shadows stretched long along the ground.
We inched cautiously along the narrow ledge.
The melody played softly along in the background.
The flags fluttered in the breeze along the parade route.
We chatted as we strolled along the boardwalk.
The road stretched endlessly along the desert.
The sun cast a warm glow along the horizon.
The children ran excitedly along the shoreline.
The vines crawled steadily along the garden wall.
We smiled as we walked hand in hand along the street.
The train clacked along the tracks.
We admired the artwork displayed along the gallery walls.
The road twisted and turned along the mountainside.
The cars moved bumper to bumper along the city streets.
We followed the path that wound along the river.
The fishermen cast their lines along the riverbank.
The sound of the guitar strummed gently along the beach.
The ship cruised smoothly along the open sea.
We followed the trail markers along the forest path.
The joggers ran briskly along the lakeside. The children laughed and played along the playground.
The books were stacked neatly along the bookshelves.
The colorful flags waved proudly along the parade route.
The marchers walked in unison along the street.
The construction workers laid bricks one by one along the path.
The train rumbled loudly along the tracks.
The music played softly along in the background. 50 sentences using the word ahead of.
He's always planning ahead of time.
The fast car sped ahead of the others.
The student finished his homework ahead of schedule.
She's the leader, always a step ahead of the group.
The restaurant is just ahead of us on the left.
The marathon runner was well ahead of the competition.
The team's performance was miles ahead of the others.
The new technology puts us far ahead of our competitors.
The library is located just ahead of the park.
The hiker explored the trail ahead of us.
The expert's knowledge is years ahead of the industry.
The bus pulled out ahead of the traffic.
The company's innovation is light years ahead of its rivals.
The early bird catches the worm, always ahead of the game.
The sun rises ahead of our morning jog.
The CEO is well ahead of the board's expectations.
The museum is located just ahead of the city square.
The dog ran ahead of its owner.
The visionary artist's work is decades ahead of its time.
The ship sailed ahead of the storm.
The technology company is ahead of the curve.
The competition is close, but we're still ahead. The movie theater is right ahead of the shopping mall.
The scout ventured ahead of the group to explore.
The talented musician is ahead of his peers.
The toddler crawled ahead of her parents.
The rocket soared ahead of the others.
The space probe is light years ahead of our previous missions.
The garden is just ahead of the house.
The wise leader is well ahead of his followers.
The leader's vision is years ahead of our time.
The highway continues straight ahead of us.
The chef is ahead of the culinary trends.
The author's writing is light years ahead of the competition.
The river flows ahead of our hike.
The cyclist sped ahead of the pack.
The astronaut is ahead of the countdown.
The early riser is always ahead of the day.
The locomotive chugs ahead of the train.
The scientist's research is decades ahead of its field.
The ship sails ahead of the tide.
The inventor's idea is light years ahead of the existing technology.
The mountain peaks are just ahead of us.
The artist's work is generations ahead of traditional art.
The bus moves ahead of the cars in traffic.
The speaker is way ahead of the audience in knowledge.
The leader is ahead of the game in strategy.
The soccer player dashes ahead of the defense.
The car speeds ahead of the curve.
The astronaut steps ahead of his spacecraft.
50 sentences using the word against.
The cat leaned against the wall.
The soccer team played against another team.
The wind blew against the trees.
They stood together against the rain. The dog sat against the door.
The soldier protected us against danger.
She defended her friend against teasing.
The vote was split for and against ice cream.
The fence guards the garden against animals.
She stood up against teasing.
The team played well against the other team.
The shield protected the knight against the dragon.
He's racing against his friend.
The debate is about cats and dogs, for and against.
The policy goes against sharing toys.
The attorney fought in court against a fine.
The chess pieces move against each other.
She had to say no against bad behavior.
The vaccine guards us against sickness.
The soccer player defends the goal against shots.
The city builds walls against floods.
The campaign is against pollution.
The cat scratched its claws against the post.
The superhero fights against villains.
The dog barks loudly against strangers.
The boxer punches against his opponent.
She speaks out against unfair rules.
The company stands up against bullies.
The police act against bad guys.
The government imposes rules against littering.
He talks loudly against the noise.
The sailboat sails against the wind.
She filed a report against litter.
The medicine works against allergies.
The athlete runs against others.
The lawyer argues against a fine.
The detective looks for clues against a thief.
The jury decides for or against the cat.
The team plays well against the other team.
The teacher says no against cheating.
She campaigns against pollution.
The debate is about ice cream, for and against.
The army fights against danger.
He says no against too much candy.
The advice is against staying up too late.
The environmentalists protest against pollution.
The restaurant follows rules against health issues.
The inventor creates things against problems.
The athlete plays against strong opponents.
50 sentences using the word after.
I'll meet you after the movie.
She arrived home after a long day at work.
We had ice cream after dinner.
After the rain stopped, we went for a walk.
He always reads a book after breakfast.
After the meeting, we can discuss our plans.
She called me after she finished her errands.
We'll have a dessert after the main course.
After the game, we celebrated our victory.
He felt much better after taking medicine.
After the sun set, the stars appeared.
She went for a run after school.
After the concert, we met the band.
He likes to relax after a tough workout.
After the storm passed, we saw a rainbow.
I'll call you after I finish my work.
She enjoys a cup of tea after work.
After the performance, there was a standing ovation.
We watched a movie after dinner.
After the exam, we'll go out for pizza.
He usually naps after lunch.
After the class, I have to rush to my job.
She got a promotion after years of hard work.
After the wedding, they went on a honeymoon.
He smiled after hearing a funny joke. After the show, we met the cast.
We visited a museum after the zoo.
After the hike, we had a picnic.
She felt relaxed after her spa day.
After the rain, the flowers looked refreshed.
He went to the dentist after a toothache.
After a long flight, we finally arrived.
After a long wait, the bus came.
She felt relieved after a deep breath.
After the surgery, he recovered quickly.
We'll have coffee after our meeting.
After the incident, we filed a report.
After the wedding, they cut the cake.
He went for a swim after the sun came out.
After the hike, we enjoyed the view.
She called her friend after she missed the bus.
After the movie, we discussed the plot.
After the party, we cleaned up the mess.
He felt energetic after a good night's sleep.
After the rain, the streets were wet.
We can relax by the fireplace after skiing.
After the game, we went out for pizza.
After the interview, she received a job offer.
We had a good conversation after dinner.
After the performance, we congratulated the actors.
50 sentences using the word across.
We walked across the bridge to the other side.
The finish line is just across the field.
She waved to us from across the street.
The news spread quickly across social media.
We drove across the desert under the scorching sun.
I saw a shooting star streaking across the night sky.
The sun sets beautifully across the horizon.
The river flows gently across the meadow.
He ran across the soccer field to catch the ball.
We gazed at the stars across the clear night.
The message was transmitted across the world.
She painted a rainbow across the canvas.
The cat stretched out lazily across the couch.
The road winds across the mountain range.
We hiked across the rugged terrain.
I can see your smile from across the room.
The ship sailed across the vast ocean.
The sound of laughter echoed across the park.
The train travels across the countryside.
We flew across the continent in a matter of hours.
He rode his bike across the entire city.
The beam of light cut across the dark room.
We skied across the snow-covered slopes.
I heard music playing from across the street. The news traveled swiftly across the community.
The rainbow stretched across the waterfall.
The idea spread like wildfire across the organization.
We watched as the boat glided across the lake.
The information was distributed across various channels.
The marathon runner sprinted across the finish line.
The stars shone brightly across the night sky.
She drew a line across the page.
The words flowed smoothly across the paper.
We canoed across the calm lake.
The echo of their voices carried across the canyon.
The train tracks extend across the countryside.
We drove across the city, exploring its neighborhoods.
The painting extended across the entire wall.
The music carried across the open air.
We heard the wind howling across the plains.
The news traveled quickly across the globe.
We sailed across the blue waters of the sea.
The laughter of children echoed across the playground.
We explored the forest, hiking across the trails.
The phone rang from across the room.
We watched the sunset spread across the horizon.
The river meandered across the valley.
We walked across the campus, admiring the architecture.
The smile on her face lit up the room from across the table.
The firework display lit up the night sky across the city.
50 sentences using the word according to.
According to the weather forecast, it will be a sunny day tomorrow.
According to the latest research, there may be a breakthrough in cancer treatment.
According to historians, the Battle of Gettysburg was a turning point in the Civil War. According to the rules, players are not allowed to use their hands in soccer.
According to the nutrition label, this cereal is high in fiber.
According to legend, King Arthur wielded the sword Excalibur.
According to the teacher, the exam will cover chapters 1 through 5.
According to the financial report, the company's profits have increased by 10%.
According to the map, the treasure is buried on this island.
According to tradition, we light candles on the menorah during Hanukkah.
According to the architect, the building's design is both functional and aesthetically pleasing.
According to my parents, it's essential to save money for the future.
According to the artist, this painting represents the essence of human emotion.
According to the scientist, climate change is a global crisis.
According to the survey, most people prefer coffee over tea.
According to folklore, black cats are often associated with superstitions.
According to the Constitution, all citizens have certain inalienable rights.
According to the guidelines, safety measures must be followed at all times.
According to the calendar, today marks the first day of spring.
According to the law, smoking is prohibited in this area.
According to tradition, we exchange gifts during the holiday season.
According to my coach, practice is essential for skill improvement.
According to folklore, a wish made upon a shooting star will come true.
According to the principal, attendance is mandatory for all students.
According to The Economist, the stock market is experiencing volatility.
According to the manual, this appliance is easy to assemble.
According to the guidebook, this trail leads to a breathtaking waterfall.
According to folklore, there's buried treasure hidden in these hills.
According to the dictionary, the word synergy means the combined power of a group.
According to my friend, this novel is a literary masterpiece.
According to tradition, we light candles to celebrate Diwali.
According to the legend, a dragon guards the enchanted forest. According to the explorer, this cave has never been fully explored.
According to the guide, this wildlife sanctuary is home to rare species.
According to the philosopher, the pursuit of knowledge leads to wisdom.
According to the weather forecast, it's going to be a beautiful day tomorrow.
So, according to the latest scoop, there might be some big news coming.
According to Mom, dinner's almost ready.
According to my buddy, this new restaurant serves the best tacos in town.
According to the news, there's a traffic jam on the highway.
According to the plan, we'll meet up at the cafe and then head to the park.
According to the rules, you can't park here overnight.
According to my gut feeling, we should take the scenic route.
So according to the survey, most folks prefer dogs over cats.
According to the rumor mill, the boss is considering a promotion for me.
According to the menu, the special today is a spicy shrimp pasta.
According to tradition, we always have a big family reunion for the holidays.
According to the GPS, we're just 10 minutes away.
According to Dad, the best time to fish is at dawn.
According to the book, this species is native to South America.
50 sentences using the word above.
The sun is shining brightly above the clouds.
The birds soared high above the treetops.
Hang the picture frame above the fireplace.
The stars glittered in the sky above.
There's a rainbow above the horizon.
He wrote a note above his signature.
The helicopter hovered above the city.
The moon is visible above the mountains.
She placed the trophy above the mantel.
The temperature dropped far above freezing.
The plane flew above the ocean.
The kite soared above the park.
Hang the curtains just above the window.
The apartment is located above the bakery.
The mountain peak is high above the valley.
The painting is displayed above eye level.
The angel figurine hovers above the nativity scene.
The temperature rose to well above 90 degrees.
The chandelier hangs above the dining table.
The message is written in the space above.
The hot air balloon floated high above the countryside.
The clock is mounted above the doorway.
The skyscraper towers above the city skyline.
The water level is below the bridge above.
The stars twinkle in the sky above.
The sun sets above the horizon.
The plane flew above the clouds.
The bird perched on a branch above.
The note is written in the space above the line.
The helicopter hovers above the building.
The banner is hung high above the stage.
The rainbow arches above the waterfall.
The temperature dropped well above freezing.
The moon shines brightly above the desert.
The picture frame is centered above the couch.
The kite soars gracefully above the beach.
The curtains billow gently above the open window.
The apartment is located on the floor above.
The mountain peak towers far above the surrounding hills.
The painting is exhibited above the gallery entrance.
The angel figurine appears to float above the nativity scene.
The temperature soared to above 100 degrees.
The chandelier hangs elegantly above the staircase.
The message is written just above the signature.
The hot air balloon drifted above the forest.
The clock hangs prominently above the fireplace.
The skyscraper stands tall above the rest.
The water level is well above average.
The stars sparkle brilliantly in the sky above.
The sun rises above the ocean.
50 sentences using the word about.
I'd like to talk to you about our upcoming project.
She's passionate about environmental conservation.
What do you know about the history of this city?
We need to make a decision about our vacation plans.
I'm excited about the concert tonight.
Let's have a discussion about the latest developments.
Tell me more about your hobbies.
I'm curious about your opinion on this matter.
They are enthusiastic about volunteering in the community.
We should be concerned about climate change.
I have a question about the assignment.
He's very knowledgeable about technology.
Tell me a story about your trip. I'm thrilled about the opportunity to learn.
She's enthusiastic about her new job.
Let's have a conversation about your goals.
I'm optimistic about the future.
What can you tell me about this book?
They are excited about the upcoming event.
We're worried about the safety of our neighborhood.
I have a presentation about the solar system.
Tell me a joke about your dog.
I'm passionate about playing the guitar.
Let's chat about your favorite books.
I'm serious about my commitment to this cause.
We need to think about our long-term goals.
She's very knowledgeable about art history.
I'm writing a report about renewable energy.
I'm thrilled about the progress we've made.
They are excited about their new home.
We need to make a plan about our finances.
Tell me a story about your childhood.
I'm interested in learning more about your culture.
Let's have a meeting about the project.
I'm enthusiastic about the opportunity to travel.
She's passionate about helping others. I'm thinking about starting a new business.
We should talk about our future together.
I'm concerned about the environment.
Tell me a secret about your best friend.
I'm confident about our chances of success.
We need to make a decision about our investments.
I'm eager to hear more about your experiences.
Let's have a discussion about the latest trends.
I'm excited about the new restaurant in town.
She's dedicated to learning more about history.
I'm positive about our ability to overcome challenges.
We should think about our health and wellness.
I'm passionate about photography. I'm passionate about photography.